Good morning and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about vision boards. We're also going to cover a bit of an introduction to the law of attraction for those of you who are brand new to this. I realise that for some of you who are really into this, you may have already made your vision board for 2022. I like to have a little bit of distance between the new year and doing this kind of thing because I feel like the deadline puts a lot of pressure on it and I want a bit of space to really think about what I want. A vision board can be created whenever you need to create it. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the year. You can change it as often as you want if that's what you want to do. It can take whatever form you want it to take. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I'm choosing to display this year's vision board myself. But first, I want to give you a little bit of an introduction to why we do this and what the law of attraction is all about. If you're already familiar, then I'm going to leave a timestamp below just so you can skip ahead to the vision board part. But if you are completely new to this or if you feel like you want a refresher, keep watching. If you're a skeptic, I completely hear you. I considered myself to be a skeptical believer for the longest time, but at this point, so many things that I've asked for, directly or indirectly, like I happen to have said things out loud and I'm like, that's really weird. It's kind of too difficult to ignore that something might be working in my favour at this point. I think particularly in the UK, find this really, really difficult to start with because we're raised to be quite humble and self-belief is not like a natural thing. It seems to be, especially in America, that there's a lot more it just comes easier. It comes easier to, you're supposed to believe that you are the best and you can have anything and you can be whatever you want to be. That's not really how it is, or it's not really how it's traditionally been in the UK. And I think we find it the most difficult to really say out loud that we think we deserve more than we have because it just kind of feels wrong. I sometimes watch these people on YouTube and it just feels like you've never struggled with this. Like you've always just thought you deserved more. And I just wanted to put it out there that some of it is like cultural. Some of it is a little bit more difficult for us to get on board with because we feel like it's not, I don't want to say it's not polite, but it's kind of immodest to say, no, I want that and I should be able to have it. For a long time, I had one foot in this like spiritual realm and the other half of me just cringing. But for 2022, I am all in. And I wanted to make this video specifically for those of you who feel that way, who are kind of pulling a face at yourself every single time you think about manifesting or you Google like how to make a vision board. You're just like almost rolling your eyes at yourself. It's like there's a you on the outside of your body mocking you for thinking, is this a real thing? Maybe I'll try it. If it makes you feel a bit weird, but you want to do it anyway, just remember, you don't have to tell anyone. You don't have to share it with anyone. It's just for you. As a skeptic, I always said, what's the worst that can happen? If this isn't real, it's not harming anyone. Worst case scenario, nothing happens. Nothing materializes. Nothing happens. It's not the end of the world because it's not doing any harm. And that is true so long as you are not harming yourself in the process. I want to be super clear that I take only the positive from this. Only, like, I consider it to be a law of attraction buffet and I pick from it what I need that day, depending on how I'm feeling like I need to be supported, how it's going to work for me. I only take the good. I have watched so many people on YouTube talk about the rules and you have to do it this way, it won't work. And all of them conflict. Like some people overlap and yeah, okay, but a lot of them have different ideas of what the rules are and different kind of interpretations of how you're supposed to do this. And so I personally just choose whatever makes me feel good. I'm not going to beat myself up for not manifesting correctly or not having the right crystals or not doing it right. I'm only taking what feels positive to me. The overall premise is ask, believe, receive. Ask for what you want. Believe that you can have it and it will find you. I know it sounds ridiculous, but what if it works? I personally don't play the lottery because I don't think I'm going to win. Feels like a waste of money. The odds are terrible. But so many people play the lottery every single day because they think someone's got to win. It's the same thing. Why not put that same, why not me attitude into manifesting this year and see what happens? So I'm going to talk more about manifesting and the law of attraction in probably a longer video at some point. Maybe we'll do a live because I do enjoy a discussion about this kind of thing. I just for now wanted to give you some context into like why you're making the vision board and why it's supposed to work. So you're collecting a series of visuals that are basically kind of a wish list for life. They don't have to be material items, but again, I don't believe in pinning anything super high stakes on this. Health, that kind of thing. I just don't think that anybody needs to feel personally responsible for the inevitable tragedies in life. The exercise can be as frivolous or as meaningful as you choose to make it, but I personally don't want to look at the board and think anything bad. I don't want to have sad thoughts. I don't want to feel like things are out of my control and just be reminded of kind of darker things. I want it to feel positive and uplifting every single time I see it. So what to put on the board itself? So again, going back to other people and what they have told me over the years, this is from books, podcasts, different YouTube videos, lots of people say get specific. And I think that does work, but it can sometimes be difficult to drill down initially a specific idea. So let's say you are mapping out your perfect life. We're not talking like house, car, whatever. It doesn't have to be those things. It could be feelings. It could be, like I like to kind of try and be vague in a feelings kind of way. So for example, I've got a picture on my vision board right now that is a picture of a chair on a deck, surrounded by a forest, by a lake. I don't know where that place is, but I kind of want to be in that photo. I kind of want to have that feeling, the feeling that I look at that photo and I'm like, that's a feeling. I want to have that feeling. I don't have to be there. I don't have to be, you know, it don't have to be that chair. It doesn't have to be that lake, but I want that feeling. That picture kind of is a visual representation of that feeling. And so that is on my vision board. That's a little bit easier for me, and it might be easier for you if you are struggling with, well, what do I want? How do you want to feel? Maybe you do want to put your dream house on there, but do you know exactly what your dream house is? Is there a specific element that will make a house your dream house? That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. You can keep it specific-ish, but if you're struggling, then kind of like blow it out a little bit and keep slightly vague, but still on point. Like, this is how I want to feel, and I think this is how I'm going to get there, but I can't quite find one image that encompasses that's what I want. But this makes me think that's how I want to feel when I get there. You can even choose quotes or phrases. Like I've got a quote up here from Shonda Rhimes. We're doing a book club, by the way, if you want to join in. It's not a paid thing or anything, but if we're going to do a book club in January, we are reading Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yes, which is a brilliant book for this kind of thing. Really keeping you positive and focused and changing your mindset. If you're into this, you're probably into that book. But it's also kind of autobiographical. She is the creator of Scandal, Grey's Anatomy, How to Get Away with Murder. Her production company made Bridgerton. Just a powerhouse of a woman. She realised that she never said yes to anything. And so she had this big life, but she was making it small and she was keeping it small because she was fearful. And so for years she said yes to all of the things that scared her, and she documented her journey. It's an incredibly inspiring book for everyone. I don't think there's any particular person that she's speaking to, because she's just, it feels like a million walks of life. But I was listening to that book the other day for like the 20th time, and something she said stood out to me. So I wrote it down and pinned it up on my board because I wanted to be reminded of it. It really kind of spoke to me. The reason that I choose to do it on the pin board, you see something, you want to write it down, you want to print it out, you want to do whatever with it, I can pop it on my board and it's really easy to add to it as and when I feel the need. Maybe you've got a word of the year that you want to see regularly. That's a great place to put it. Ultimately, it's supposed to be something that keeps you focused on what you want. So again, that doesn't need to be material stuff. It can be, you want to spend more time with family. Put some stuff up there that reminds you that you want to make more plans, that reminds you of, you know, why I'm sitting at my desk and working. I like to have it above my desk so I'm seeing it all the time. Why am I here? Because I want to achieve these things. They could be holidays. They could be what am I going to do at the weekend. It could be anything, but it's something to kind of keep you focused. This is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm getting up early in the morning, because I want to have this time to do this so that I can have this time to spend with my family. This is why I'm working at this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep you focused on the things that you want. I also like to have things up there that remind me of the things that I already have, just to practice some gratitude and to remind me why I wanted things in the first place. I'm very, this is a great example. I'm very like distracted, just need something new. And I like to remind myself, this is what you have and this is why you wanted it. And this was difficult to achieve. And so just because you've achieved this doesn't mean you're, okay, now I need something new. Remember, this made you feel good and this was a feeling that you wanted. Some people like their vision board to be like, this is what I want my dream life to look like in 20 years. The perfect house, you know, the whatever. That's not what I like to do with my vision board. I like to keep it current and realistic. I like achievable goals that I can look at it and be like, this is doable. I can do this. But that maybe 5 years ago, I wouldn't have thought was doable because it's incremental. Every year I give myself new, smaller goals, and I feel it makes me feel good. It makes me look at it and be like, yeah, we can get there. The hardcore believers will say that because I say I don't think I'm going to win the lottery, it's already been decided. I can't win the lottery. I mean, I don't play the lottery, but you know what I'm saying. If I played the lottery every single day, because that's the thing now, and I said, but I don't ever think I'm going to win. The law of attraction states that I can't win because I'm saying I can't win. I'm saying this is not going to happen, and so it won't happen. And I kind of believe them because there have been things happen in my life where I feel like I've controlled things. Like later I've looked back and gone, wow, okay, yeah, that feels strange. I'll give you an example. It was probably 5 years on YouTube, and I was at around 90,000 subscribers. And I said over and over and over again to anyone who would listen, I would never want to have 1 million subscribers because it would totally suck the fun out of everything that I love about YouTube. Like the community would be so large that you wouldn't really know the people, because there are a lot of people who regularly comment on my videos and I feel like I know them. We'll talk in DMs on Instagram. I feel like it is a community. Once you're at like 1 million people, that's not a community anymore. You feel so detached from your viewers. And in addition to that, when I very first started on YouTube, the first year that I was online, I had some really nasty trolls. And I thought, yeah, I always want to keep this to like a small, manageable number of people who were like my people. That is ideal. I felt like we weeded out the people who really weren't my people. And now we've got a great number. And I had 90,000 subscribers for like 5 or 6 years. To the point I think I had 99,000 subscribers for maybe 3 years. It was crazy. It just like, it very, very rarely fluctuated. It was so bizarre, but I never really thought much of it because it wasn't a goal that I had. I never wanted like, oh, it needs to be this. It wasn't a goal that I had. And then when we were coming up to my 10th YouTube anniversary, I said to my friend, you know, I'd actually really like the 100K plaque. It feels like a tangible thing to represent a decade of doing this on YouTube. I'd really like that plaque. And I said, I'd really like to reach 100K on the 10th anniversary of YouTube. So I'm going to do a video, I'm going to do like a reaction thing. I'm going to make it like an event, a fun thing. We ended up being in lockdown, so even more so it was like, oh, this is a really fun thing to kind of work towards and plan. And I made it kind of like a party at home by ourselves. My neighbour made me some biscuits, which were amazing. Some friends sent me things and it was really nice. It was a really nice thing. Anyway, that day I hit 100,000 subscribers. We're nearly 2 years on and I pretty much still have exactly 100,000 subscribers. And it's just weird. It's weird to me because there's no reason for no more fluctuation than that, beyond the fact that I said, this is what I want. I want to keep it a reasonable number. I don't want to hit a big milestone. I do want to hit a big milestone. I hit it. And now I'm happy again. I don't really want to disrupt anything. I just want to keep it to be a small community of people who are my people. And that's what it is. Beyond that, something that's even stranger, and I don't talk about money very often, but I will specifically, just to share this with you. I said a couple of years ago, because I work part-time and I dedicate 2 days a week to this YouTube thing. And I said, I can't really justify continuing to do this unless I earn at least what I would earn from that part-time job those 2 days a week. So I'm going to give myself a year. If at the end of the year I don't think it's financially viable, I'll still make YouTube videos, but I'm not going to dedicate those 2 days a week. I can't really justify it. I'll just work full time. By the end of that year, I had half the views of ever. Like my views are absolutely halved in every video. I just was not reaching the same audience that I used to, but my income had doubled. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense beyond the fact that I said I needed this. I, this year, have said that I want to make a change in my content. I'd lost the passion for what I was doing. I want to talk more about what I want to talk about. It's 2022. I'm going to be 36 and I don't want to put myself in a box and only be able to talk about the things that I think people are interested in. I want to talk about what I'm actually interested in, which will overlap sometimes, but that's just what I want to do. And I'm just putting it out to the universe that I want to be able to do this and I need it to bring to me whatever makes that sustainable. The numbers aren't important. It's the community of people. That's what makes me feel good on YouTube. It's the actual engagement. And I have on and on said that that is the important part and that is what I've been given. And I choose to believe that there's something more at play than just coincidence. But let's say that you think that that's nonsense. I put images on a board that align with what I want and how I want my next year to go, just to remind me of why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's not doing any harm, is it? Perhaps it's all psychosomatic. Perhaps having those up there and me believing that something mystical is helping me achieve my goals is actually easier than me believing in myself. Maybe that's part of it. But if I still get to where I want to go, does it matter how I got there? If you need to look at it as like a focus board or an inspiration board, then great. But it can be really, really useful to have a visual representation of what you were working towards. So how do you actually make a board? Okay. I chose to use a pin board this year because I wanted it in front of me while I'm working at my desk so I can see it all the time. Last year I had a digital board which I made my screensaver on both my laptop and my phone. I will say already, I feel like I'm actually looking at my physical board much more than when I looked at the digital one. So I would recommend maybe printing off a copy and pinning that up somewhere might be good. On the flip side, I think I am actually also going to take a picture of my pin board that I've got. And I'm going to put that on my screensaver and I'm going to put it on my phone. But I can change those up. So as and when I feel like I want to change it, I can, change it with the updates. That is why I like a pin board, because it can be switched around and images and quotes can be swapped out if I feel like I need to. So like I said earlier, I like to swap things, whether it be that I think that I have achieved a goal and I want to swap that out, or I want to pin an extra thing on there to be like, yay, I should achieve that goal, whatever it might be. But I also might see an extra quote, or I might decide that one image is not quite as relevant as another anymore. The whole thing, I want it to be changeable. That works for me, but you can do it however you want. You can do it as a Pinterest board. You can do it as a digital board, things like PicMonkey. That works really well for this kind of thing. You could use your bedroom door, your office door. You could lay it out on paper or card. You can do an actual cut and paste exercise if you're feeling crafty. Just however it works for you and how often you're going to see it, because that is the most important part. You need to be seeing it on a daily basis, and not just seeing it, not just like glancing at it, but actually sitting somewhere where you could have your eye drawn, like at your desk. And for the last time, make it something positive, so that every time you look at it, you are happy, hopeful, or grateful. You're not sad or bitter that you don't already have what you think you deserve. I really hope that you've enjoyed today's video. I'm going to be sharing more content like this, as well as some lessons that I've learned from the many self-help books that I've read over the past few years, podcasts, YouTube videos. I'm just kind of like full of all of this stuff that for me is so useful, and I've decided that this year I'm going to share some of it. And I think that there are a lot of you following right now who either feel like they're in need of that or are just kind of my people, and you want that. You love that kind of content. You are a self-help kind of person, and effectively the law of attraction is self-help. You are helping yourself to achieve your goals. Whether or not you believe there's some kind of mystical force helping you along the way, it doesn't really matter, because you are making actions and doing things to change your life. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.